Plaintiff Patty Frymouth says she was a newly divorced single mother when she met the defendant online and they started dating. However, Patty realized he was just using her for money, and she's suing her ex for unpaid loans. Defendant Chris Putzer says he too was newly divorced when he started dating Patty, and he loved the attention and the sex. However, Chris claims they eventually ended things, and he insists the money from Patty was all a gift.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I met Chris on a dating website. I was newly divorced, single mother, and I was new to the dating game. I met him, we hit it off, things were going good. He said
How long after meeting him on the internet did you meet him in person?
I think it was probably a couple of weeks.
Okay, and you felt that he had given you the right impression over the internet after meeting him?
He told me what I wanted to hear, yes.
Right, and at that point, right, you thought
Yes.
everything was on the up
I thought
and up.
everything was good, yes.
2 weeks after, and then how did that go? What happened?
Then I eventually realized that, in hindsight, he was just using me.
How did things go? Tell me about the relationship.
We would hang out when it was convenient for him. He would do work on my house, and then if I needed or wanted to see him, then I had to go on my lunch hour, take off. We would have sex. We would talk a little bit. Yeah, and then I wouldn't see him for a couple of weeks, and then eventually I would see him, and then it would be a lot of the same thing. He never would be able to sleep over. It was all
How long did that go on?
For 3 months.
When you'd ask him about it, what would he say?
He could never stay over because usually it was his kids.
Okay.
A lot of stuff going on with his kids. He had his kids. He
Okay.
didn't have his kids.
And what was there to be suspicious about there?
Nothing to be suspicious about there.
So at that point, you weren't suspicious?
No.
All right.
And then eventually he would always talk about he didn't have a job and he had a lot of bills to pay.
When you met him, he didn't have a job?
Yes, he did not have a job. I helped him.
What did you all discuss regarding employment when you met?
I helped him try and find jobs. I got side jobs for him.
And
I just
Did he keep
tried.
them?
No, they were just side jobs.
okay, got it. All right, so go ahead. You start going with him, and he was under financial strain and unemployed
And
when you began.
eventually,
You thought you could help him get on his feet.
yes, I offered to help him as long as he agreed to pay me back in a timely manner. And I never received any payments at
Okay,
all.
how long did you all date?
About 4 months.
All right, and how much did you loan him in 4 months?
I loaned him over $5,000. And I even...
This is obviously after he had gotten a great job.
Yeah.
Pardon?
No, he never got a job.
So
while
why
I
would
was
you
with
loan him
him.
$5,000?
I
How was he
have
going
no
to pay you
idea.
back?
He was supposed to be looking for a job.
Okay, so he was to pay you back when he
Yes.
got a job?
Yes,
And this
and-
was when?
In June of 2013, between June and August of 2013.
And when did you all break up?
It was the end of August.
And so what's been going on with your money since that time? That's 5 years.
I know.
What have you done to try and get
I have
it?
contacted him a couple of times, but he
No
kept saying
response?
that, there were a couple of times he said he's getting money from a car loan. He was getting money for this, and
You believe you were conned?
yes,
Think he's a woman hustler?
yes.
Sir, let me hear from you.
Alrighty. Well, I met Patty back in 2013, kind of like what she said. Met online. We did hit it off. At that time, I was recently divorced as well. Was loving the attention I got from her. Opposite thing there is a lot of it was from her, where it was, hey, I'm at work, I can meet you on my lunch break at home, please be there, meet me after work, let's go out to the bar tonight, spend the night. I told her I had 2 younger children. One was older enough to babysit. I said, I can't spend the night because my kids need to wake up to me. They were at home. So came into a thing almost to kind of portray things for you, if you want to look at it this way. Patty was kind of the female succubus. She was giving me everything I wanted. You know, lots of attention, lots of sex, lots of things. And at first it was great. I was enjoying it very thoroughly. I was starting up my own business at the time. So it wasn't that I was always without work. I was starting up my own business. So it was a thing where I had a lot of my own hours, where I did have side jobs that she did help me with, that I did complete all of them. There was one I wasn't able to complete because the lady said she no longer wanted the services. So as things went, I kind of went after that first initial period, first month or so, where everything was wonderful. I came out of that and went, you know, I've got to spend more time at home. I've got children, I've got more responsibilities. I can't be at your beck and call, can't be the boy toy. So we started to fall a little bit out of that. She said she understood that I had children, that I had to be home, I had other responsibilities. And she understood, but still asked. I want you to be here, I want you to be there, I want you to be at my house for lunch. Can you do it this time? When I could, I did. Over time, we fell out. End of August, we went our separate ways. Just out of the relationship.
When did you receive monies from her? Because I'm sure you're not admitting it was a loan, are you?
Nope.
It was a gift, isn't it?
Correct.
When?
They were scattered throughout. I would say I've got to get this paid, I got to get this caught up
ma'am,
with.
this is little by little? Mm-hmm. You have a date and this does sound a little different, ma'am. Over the course of how long?
Should be about what she said, a couple months.
1,500 for what? Do you remember the 1,500 in June?
It was 5 years ago.
Do you know what the 1,500 was for?
I really don't. It was rent and back bills. His electric was going to
So
get
the
turned
list
off.
that you gave me, you don't know what any of these things were for?
There was gas. There was an electric bill that was going to get shut off.
I need your list that tells me what
Rent.
these monies were for.
I didn't
that
have
you
specific.
alleged to have been a loan, because he's saying that they were gifts, and that's why I needed to see what the money was spent on. That will give me an idea of whether I could interpret them as gifts, because you just mentioned gas. So a tank of gas or a pack of cigarettes, I would think is a gift. So that's why I need to see a list.
Messages from him as to some of the money and that he was going to pay back.
Did he say the amount he was going to pay you back?
No, he always just said.
Okay. Did you agree to pay her back? I thought it was a gift,
her
sir.
back.
Let me see it, please. I thought it was a gift, sir.
It was a gift. I told her I would try to help her with things, much like she was helping me.
I didn't forget what you did to help me, and I plan on getting your money back to you. Back to you. Back to you. That's where you got in trouble. I have to get electric paid by Tuesday. I have jobs lined up. I don't have time to wait. I will get the cash back as soon as possible. I promise. I get the poor con men in here today, man. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.